Well, folks, Donald Trump had his physical last Friday, and this past Sunday they released the report on it, and it left pretty much everybody that's not a MAGA hat wearing fanatic scratching their heads because none of it made any sense whatsoever. Now, the physical was performed by Captain Sean Barbarella at Walter Reed Hospital. He is, of course, the White House physician, and according to Barbarella, Donald Trump is just the perfect specimen of what a human being should be. I mean, look at these vitals he has. Heart rate, 62 beats a minute. Literally perfect. Blood pressure, 128/74. Also perfect. Body temperature, 98.6. Perfect. Blood oxygen level, 99%. Perfect. Wow. Perfect body temperature. Perfect blood pressure, perfect everything, perfect oxygen levels. Wow, right? Really kind of astounding that a human being who is clearly so out of shape and taking 3 different medications to prevent heart attacks and strokes every day is in excellent health, according to Dr. Barbarella. I will get more into this in just a moment, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. First, Elon Musk gutted federal agencies. Then he slashed public services. Now, his people are fighting to keep their corruption under wraps. But a federal judge ruled Musk's alleged Department of Government efficiency is not exempt from open records laws. Judge Christopher Cooper made it clear that the Trump administration completely failed to argue against the fact that DOJ is acting with massive unchecked power. Ground News analyzed dozens of sources covering this from across the political spectrum. And comparing coverage, you'll see how some spin this as a partisan issue while others call it what it is, proof of corruption. Same story, different spin, and exactly why you can't blindly trust the first headline you see without knowing the biases behind them. That's why I've been relying on my partners at Ground News for a long time. If you like my show, you'll love how their app and website lets you compare coverage with context on each source's political bias, credibility, and financial incentives. This way, you're not just taking one source's word for what's happening, you're seeing past the layers of selective reporting shaping your worldview. Billionaires and political agendas are controlling more and more of our media, deciding what they want us to see and think. Ground News, on the other hand, it's independent, it's nonpartisan, and only committed to helping us think critically about the stories shaping everything from public opinion to public policy. And since I can't track everything Trump and Musk are doing or undoing alone, I've curated feeds that track them for me from credible sources to make sure I'm giving you all the most reliable information. And now you can too, for nearly half the price. Go to ground.news/Farron to get the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I use for just $5 a month. Take back control of how you stay informed today. The link is in the video description. So just to kind of repeat here, Donald Trump is on 3 separate daily medications to prevent him from having a heart attack or stroke. Those 3 medications, of course, listed in the report are rosuvastatin, ezetimibe, and a daily aspirin regimen. Now, the rosuvastatin and the ezetimibe are cholesterol medications. So it's bad enough if you have to be on one cholesterol medication. If you're on 2 separate cholesterol medications, that, of course, is a giant red flag, especially for a guy that Dr. Barbarella said President Trump remains in excellent health, exhibiting robust cardiac, pulmonary, neurological, and general physical function. And of course, he cited his frequent golf victories as proof of how healthy this guy is. If you're on 2 cholesterol medications, daily cholesterol medications, trust me, you're not in good health. And I know that from personal experience. Let me just kind of bring this a little personal for a moment. Earlier this year, my doctor, because I had to switch doctors, my original one retired, that's whatever, But I got a new doctor and he was like, hey, I want to see all your labs, go get some blood work. Let's take a look at everything and see where you're at. Well, turns out I had, borderline high cholesterol. Yes, it's high, but it's totally manageable. So he put me on rosuvastatin, just like Donald Trump. And that's only one medication. And I get labs done again next week. I went back to him last week and he's like, yeah, everything's looking good. We'll do new labs and maybe we can get you off the meds. Trump, on the other hand, is on 2 and he's been on rosuvastatin for years. And the second one, ezetimibe, was not on his 2020 physical. So he has had to add a cholesterol medication to his daily regimen in just the last 5 years because the rosuvastatin wasn't cutting it. That's not good. That is not good cardiovascular health, as the doctor claims. Not to mention the fact that he is also on an aspirin regimen. An aspirin regimen, of course, is used to help thin the blood to prevent blood clots, which could then either cause a heart attack or stroke. Same thing with the high cholesterol. Cholesterol gets too much, clogs those arteries. Next thing you know, heart attack or stroke. If he were not on these medications, he probably wouldn't be here today. That's the point I'm trying to get at. And the doctor is sitting there with a straight face writing this report telling us he's in excellent health. He's in excellent cardiac health. The man is like 2 cheeseburgers away from keeling over and J.D. Vance becoming president at this point. But there is another part that everybody else kind of hyperfixated on, so I will talk about that for a second. Donald Trump's height and weight. Because according to the doctor, Donald Trump is 6'3", and only weighs 224 pounds. Which means me sitting here like this, I apparently weigh more than Donald Trump. By a considerable amount. Nope, that's not even possible. I've seen my body and I've seen pictures of his body. I see him speaking regularly. No, there is no way in hell that I am heavier than this guy. But maybe I am, maybe I'm in worse shape than I thought. But here's the thing. If Donald Trump is in fact 6'3", 224 pounds, let's take a look at this picture. This was shared on Blue Sky by user Andy Craig. Andy Craig. This is NBA star Donovan Mitchell. Now, Donovan Mitchell, as you see from the post there, is 6'3" and 215 pounds, which means that Donald Trump is only 9 pounds heavier than that gentleman on the screen. All right, okay, Donovan Mitchell versus Donald Trump. 9-pound difference, according to Dr. Captain Barbarella, right? We're supposed to believe that those two men are only 9 pounds apart? No. Everything about this medical report is 100% completely not believable. Nothing. There is no way he has perfect body temperature, perfect blood pressure, perfect oxygen, and he eats McDonald's every day. Trust me, that ain't possible. I lived through that for a period in my life. Nope, you can't do it. So there it is. You can choose to believe the report if you want, or you can actually look at the medications that he's taking and understand this is an individual that is pretty much already on borrowed time.